Well, the season, five of The Walking Dead is finished, and we've missed a few weeks because of mutual sicknesses and obligations and things. And so now we get to do a great big super show about
everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything. What did you think about the series? This season overall.
Overall, I truly believe that the season was mediocre. Only because because they were building up for the finale. I can tell. They was like, yeah, we're just gonna let them mosey on in, no problems. Okay, one random situation where some people die, but it's nothing major because none of the main people died until Noah died, which was kind of.
Well, you forgetting what happened in the beginning of the season? Are we doing this half season?
Oh shit, I forgot all about that. Okay.
Wow, you forgot all about. Well, they do split them up into like these half season things. So are we just doing like this half season or?
We can do that.
Because I don't care about the Beth stuff at all.
Me either.
Okay, so just.
Okay, yeah, we're just going. Okay.
Last half.
Yeah, last half. Okay.
So not everything, but the last half.
5B.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, yeah. So the only real important thing in 5B, I will say not most important, but most detrimental thing was Noah's death. Though it seemed to be slightly, how do you say, short-lived, of course.
His death was short-lived?
Short-lived. Well, not short-lived, but it wasn't. It was like hey, here's Noah trying to develop himself as a character, and now he's dead.
Well, the thing about... I liked Noah. I didn't necessarily think that he didn't have the time to develop as a character. And that's an issue. But, because when they found him, it was like through the whole Grady Hospital Beth situation, and then he got injured, so he was kind of blah, 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 blah. And then they went to his, where his brother supposedly was, and that was ransacked and whatever. So he didn't really get the chance to be like a firm pillar of the group, and then he kind of just got snuffed out when he was like, yeah, I'm finna learn something. I'm going to be a productive member of this society.
I definitely wasn't expecting him to become a seasoned vet, but amongst the family, quote unquote, that Rick started. But I definitely believe that he would have played a hell of a more sturdier role amongst the group. And then when he made it to the community, I thought he would have a chance to prove his worth.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It seems like he was going in that route. He was going to learn,
and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him shine. Yeah. I wanted to see him become something, and then kill him, but not kill him the moment I was like, because I always wondered what was going to be his role, not even in the community of Alexandria, but in general.
What was going to be his role in the show? Period.
Yeah, period. But I guess it was right to write him out. You know what I'm saying? To get his jaw ripped from his face.
Yeah, that was a gruesome scene, and I love the way that they shot it, and what actually happened to him is only part of it. The other part to it that made it even more of a spectacle was seeing Glenn's reaction to it, because it's right on the other side of, I guess, glass or polythene or whatever that's made of. Whatever it's made of is like right there. And just watching him react to that was
priceless. I think my reaction to the scene itself was triggered more from Glenn's reaction than watching Noah literally get ripped apart. I think that was definitely one of the best human deaths of the series, I have to say. Because it was, you can tell they took the time to theaterize it, make it impactful, like emotionally impactful. jarring, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I forgot his name, but there was a specific director for that episode, and I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, he does that type of stuff in general, and I think he did Noah good service because he got snuffed out like no, but this is the beginning. Whoa.
No, that's a little too far, homie. You gotta go. you can't step past your line. Your line is here. You crossed
like
it.
he was gonna get surgery, possibly, and he was gonna provide something, and nah.
I definitely could have saw him being the next Tyrese to the group.
Swinging a hammer?
Well, I won't say hammer. I won't say hammer man, but I definitely will say like that extra strong black male character, if you will. But yeah, they definitely. I mean, I won't even say strong physically. I mean, just there for the team, not like literally strong, but like for the team.
Tyrese was a little flaky.
Tyrese was flaky, but that's why I was excited for Noah, because I thought he would play the role that I wish Tyrese would have definitely played. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, but all that stems from hashtag fuck Nick, because well, actually Nick and Aiden, those fucking retards, like seriously, he shoots at a zombie, blows everybody the fuck up, gets himself impaled on some shit, and then Nick's just like, yeah, fuck everybody, I'm out. You know?
He was like, yo, it was meant to be, but I gotta go. Like, I gotta do it, like, cause I can't do this. And I'm like, no, this is not.
I really like when he met Eugene in the van. I was really hoping Eugene was gonna pop him right there.
Me too.
And that whole.
But he's not. I understood why he couldn't and why he didn't, because he's never been. Eugene has never been put in those critical situations enough to the point where he would know how to draw a gun fast, or know what to do in a fist fight amongst with somebody else.
Right.
So his character was played well in that predicament. I definitely I commend him. I have to give him a hand clap for stepping the fuck up and as
getting Tara out of there.
Yeah, as Tara would say, holding his weight. And I was proud of him because, it wasn't some selfish vendetta, like him telling Abraham that, oh yo, I know how to, cure this thing, like take me to DC just so he could have somebody protect him. It was more like okay, she needs my help, they need my help, I need to step up, or it's gonna be more casualties than to his knowledge hurt. So I was very proud of Eugene coming and clobbering Nick to the extent that he did, because he didn't of course he didn't get to like beat the shit out of him, and luckily Glenn got there in time to lay his infamous haymakers.
Look, that was the first time that happened between Nicholas and Glenn. And then it happened a second time. I don't want there to be a third.
I really don't.
And Glenn should have killed that dude like right after he found him, and they left homeboy. I can understand leaving Aiden there. I would have just left him in because that was just his fuck up in general. Like, why are you shooting at a zombie?
And plus his injuries, he wouldn't have made it home.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't have made it home.
And then, him following him out into the woods, that seemed a little weird, like how they set that up. But
I understand why, because
I don't understand why. Because why would he climb the gate, and then he climbs the gate, Glenn goes after him, and then somehow Glenn loses track of Nicholas somehow magically, And then and then another thing is I think Nicholas was the one who found the gun that was in the blender. How the hell did Nicholas find the gun that was in a blender? They never even explained that.
They never explained it, but what I like to do in situations where I don't understand is use context clues. Because just like how he climbed the gate, how he climbed the fence just to randomly take a scroll, he probably been doing that, even though he has clearance outside the main gate. I think he does that because he secretly has his own vendettas, his own agenda, if you will. Like, it may not be anything detrimental, like he may not be like conspiring against the community or anything like that. I just think he has a power struggle within him, within himself and in the community.
Basically, he's a piece of shit coward, and so he does stuff to make him feel good about himself.
Exactly. Yep. So,
like, I have control, so I'm gonna climb this wall and I'm gonna go where I want to go, even though I actually can just walk out the front fucking door.
Walk out the front fucking door with no problem. with permitted guns, anything he wants. The biggest gun, the smallest gun, gun.
Now, when Rick went and found the gun, well, I not found the gun, but we went back to check and see if the gun was there, and it was gone. And then I don't think it was the same episode, but I thought it was Enid that had, like, jumped the gate and found the gun, and she had it. And I thought that was gonna play a role, but I was like, but then it turns out it was fucking Nicholas. I'm like, what?
I don't think. Now, that's plausible, but it never crossed my mind, so I really don't have anything to speak on that. Like, I knew she was jumping the fence. I knew she was going to do what she wanted to do, but it seemed more like she just wanted to be in what she's used to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to be back in her habitat, her environment, just to chill. Not even to scavenge or to feel like she needs to practice or train. I think she just liked being out there because she threw that the egg timer just so to distract the walker so she can get away. I felt like if she was out there to be out there, she would have killed him. Well, killed it, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
But I think she just.
But at the same time, but if she like came back with like zombie blood on her, well, then again she would have to, like, it's weird. It's like, I don't know. Do the kids not have permission to leave because you see none of the kids leaving?
I mean, it's kind of like one of those. Why would you let them?
Yeah.
Well, seeing the world that's out there, why would you let them? I felt, especially with I can't think of her name at the moment. But how her mind works is like everybody.
Oh, Sasha?
No, not Sasha, but the lady that let them in.
Deanna?
Deanna, yeah. Deanna,
Hey, doing much better with names this time.
Oh, yeah. She seems like the kind of person that gives people roles. I don't want to call her sexist, ageist, or anything like that, but I definitely do believe that she's like, this is not a child's place to step outside this wall for any reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think she would have let them gone out in that sense. I think Carl got to go, if I'm thinking correctly, but
because he was with somebody.
Yeah, he was with somebody, and the group he came from. So I think Deanna has a sense of trust within him and his ability to survive out there. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna let him go.
I do wonder what this whole thing with Enid is gonna lead. Is this gonna be Carl's love interest for this next upcoming season, or is it gonna be some type of, what is she a catalyst for something else to happen?
That's what I was thinking.
Or is she gonna get captured by the wolves and she's gonna get tied up to a tree and marked and eaten, whatever? Like, I want, because it's like they can't. It's not necessarily they did make a big deal about her, but at the same time, that's what made me believe that there's something that's going to happen concerning her, especially between her and Carl. I don't know if Carl's gonna turn his back on somebody or whatever to go save her or to do something with her, because it's like, oh my God, there's a girl here, blah 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 blah. I'm stupid. So that's something that I'm worried about, and people tend to get. People in that show tend to get weird when it comes to having a girl around. Everybody except for Glenn.
Mm-hmm. But I think he got, well, even when he first met her and was like, he definitely still wasn't making like idiot mistakes in the name of her. Mm-hmm. If anything, he was just really, really awkward.
Well, yeah. But it's like, oh my God, there's like a teenage girl here. This is like the first one I've seen in like forever.
Yeah. But I think Carl's out of that immature, I don't even want to say selfish stage, because
I think you think he learned,
priority.
Huh?
Priority.
Yeah, that. But I think he's grown up enough to realize that, hey, yeah, like you said, priority, basically. Mm. He's not like the fucking, I'm going to go and run off when they told me not to go and run off. Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was annoying. Carl!
Where's Carl?
Carl! It grew on me, Carl!
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a catalyst to his character, building him either up or down. Because killing his mother didn't do what the death of his mother did to Rick. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Rick took it a hell of a lot harder than he did, and he was the one that killed him.
I thought Rick, for a while, I thought Rick was just going to, like, lose it, and then just start, like, pull a governor and start just killing people.
Too. Honestly, me too.
Like, they delve into Rick, like, going down this really weird psychotic path every so often. And with that, like especially that whole phone ringing thing, and the phone wasn't even plugged in. It's like there was no service. It was
that was really weird.
Yeah,
now, I can say though, the voices in the from the phone does sound like that. Sound like a couple of the characters from Alexandria. So
I don't remember the voices.
Of course I can't like reciprocate the voice and then compare it to another voice, but I just felt like how they spoke. We have a community, we're safe, we have walls. You remember, they said they were saying things like that. And he was like, I have a baby, and she was like, we can take care of your baby, we can take care of your son. But then,
interesting. I need to go back and look and see if that was a thing. I don't remember.
I remember. Now I could be wrong because that was a while ago, but I do remember them confirming like this sense of safety. You know what I'm saying, to him, and they couldn't speak on it. And then he also spoke to a man. I can't really say. It could have been the governor's community, for all we know, because he did have walls too. So I could be wrong, but it was kind of weird to have have like that bridge almost seen all the way from that season to this season. But like I said, it could have been from the governor's community. But now,
or it could just be one of those things where, it's like, for the really, really big fans. Oh, did you know that, in season 3, it was a precursor to Alexandria because of this, and this, and yeah.
But I feel like Carl's and
Glenn knowing what those extra batteries were.
Yeah.
Back from It's like,
Yep. That was kind of I felt that. I was like, yeah, look at him, look at Glenn. Yeah. Being resourceful.
Now the thing, like I'm in constant fear of Glenn being killed, because he ain't got away from some stuff, and they ain't show us how he got away, and then he's dealing with this Nick bitch. It's
he's getting very reckless. I have noticed that he I won't even say reckless. He's getting sloppy. It's almost like he's becoming
no half measures.
I do feel like it's coming. I do feel like it is coming though. In this season especially, I do feel like it's coming, because he's getting, Glenn would put himself in those predicaments, but he would quickly escape, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not get it. Like when he got shot in the shoulder, and then Nick ran over to look down the hill, and Glenn was gone, and I was like, yes, that's the Glenn I know.
Yeah.
But then
and then that brings up my point of Ninja Glenn. Nick, because Nick was like, wait, okay,
And then he was like, yeah, with a karate chop.
Respect my head, baby.
So, I definitely feel like there's still there's definitely, Glenn isn't losing his touch, but you can tell he's becoming, what's the word? I don't want to say soft, but he's getting comfortable. That's what I want to say. You can tell that he's starting to get a little bit comfortable because, they had, he was very resourceful during the prison and hella resourceful prior to that, but he was still very resourceful during the prison. But then when they started moving on and on and on, and then they settled down again, or no, they definitely didn't settle down again. But he wasn't the Glenn that we knew to do, like, run off into the woods and come back, with like, hey, there's this big building of food over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Glenn used to be super resourceful.
Yeah.
From the very first episode where he was like, hey, you dumbass in the tank. He was
yeah, I remember that. That was funny. I think they just toned him down. They toned him down.
Watered him down a lot, and I feel like that's gonna lead.
Is that because of Maggie? Do you think?
Because
well, not necessarily because of Maggie, because Maggie is gangster in her own right. She was slapping zombies with signs.
Yeah.
But like the marriage, and I have to get back to this person type of thing.
Make it home, and it's like, yeah, because well, maybe I wouldn't say that, because if anything, that would initiate a survival, extra sense of survival instincts. You gotta make it back to your loved one, but at the same time, I feel like if anything, is like that wanting to finally be able to settle down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is like what's like gearing him. He's like, okay, I can't be this machete slinging. You know what I'm saying? 9mm popping.
Yeah, because Glenn got real gangster for a little bit. He was like no fucks given.
Yeah,
at some points.
But well, maybe you're right. Maybe the marriage is like watering him down, because he wants to still be there for her, still love her, and give her an opportunity to live, or give them an opportunity to live in comfort.
I just gotta understand, like, how many condoms does Glenn
have?
Yeah,
because by now I'm surprised she isn't pregnant, but maybe they're practicing abstinence in a sense. It's like, hey, listen, we can't. Hey, Rick, Shane, and Lori already proved that ain't a good idea. That's definitely not a good idea to bring a newborn, because it definitely will slow them down. And with Alexandria, they haven't quite set foundation there, because before the finale, Rick was kind of, I was like, fuck Rick, like, can you just not, brother? It's your first opportunity to live in comfort, and yet you're trying to go apeshit.
Now, this is something that really upset me about this whole domestic violence thing. It's like, okay, so they get to this new community. Mm-hmm. Pete just happens to be abusing Jenny. What's her name?
Jennifer.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block.
And like, he just happens to be abusing her, and he happens to be a drunk. It's like, how do you get this much alcohol to be a drunk in the apocalypse? I do not know. And then it's like, oh, it's been going on for a while, but Deanna knows, and she hasn't done anything about it. And it's like, really?
Well,
really? That couldn't go in, like, he couldn't just be a guy that maybe that she didn't really want to be with, maybe kind of a little bit, Yeah. And then Rick, like, I already knew that was probably going to, maybe not necessarily domestic violence, but like the Rick and Jenny thing was going to be a thing. But like, just when she showed up, I was like, oh hell.
She trying to cut old dude hair. That's a sign. That's a sign of our generation.
And he ain't just cleaned up. Rick's over there fresh, and
seeing clean cut Rick because I remember watching from season 1 up to season 4, especially when season 4 ended. Watching his transition was amazing because he went from like this clean, because his person, like, season 4 Rick was like, hey, we killing anybody and everybody, if they fuck with us they're dead type Rick. But
you ain't
Rick,
one of us.
Yeah, then Rick was like, the season 1 Rick was like, okay, maybe we can talk, maybe we can work this out, you can just leave and we can go our way, nobody has to die. And then like season 4 is like, okay, listen, Pah! You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're dead. It's like Murder, She Wrote. So
I mean, granted, it's valuable to have both sides, and I think he still has that side in him. It's just like it depends on the situation. And now things are a little bit more tough and gritty than it was back in season 1, when you could be like, "Hey, look, we just gonna separate." Blah 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 blah. Like season 1, it seems like that'd probably be the right thing to do. And now it's like, kill that nigga, kill them all, kill them.
Because you got to. I mean, they're forming cliques. You got cannibals out there. You got people that
you got people that are rolling around in like military stuff.
Yeah, like you kind of can't think like you would season 1.
You can't think diplomatically 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
like with Terminus, like Carol ain't giving them no speech about how it's wrong about being cannibals. Carol said, blow that shit off.
Yeah, let's just fuck this shit up real quick, get my homies back, and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh man, Carol's been amazing this season, especially. Like she came a long way from getting hit with a car.
Yeah, she came a long way from getting hit by her husband.
Well, yeah, especially that.
Yeah, she came a hell of a long way, man. Oh my god, and what's crazy is it feels so good and so natural to see Carol like this, like she's like the grandma next door. But then you go over there and she's got like chains hanging everywhere and she was like blasting heavy metal or something like that. It just feels good because it works.
I don't know that, Carol. I don't know no heavy metal. Carol.
I'm just saying, like, just metaphorically speaking, like you can't judge a book by its cover because she still looks like the innocent Carol from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But now she's like, listen, I will tie you to a tree, and
and no one will be able to hear you scream.
Nope. And then, but what will hear you scream? Those walkers, and they're gonna rip you apart, and you're gonna feel every inch of it until you're dead, or you might become one of them, but you'll be tied to a tree. Blah blah blah. And it was like, whoa, this is a little kid, Carol. Like, yo,
like Carol, tone it down.
Yeah. Jesus. And it's just really cool. I love her development. Like she's becoming a badass. Hell, she's
been a badass, man.
True. But she's like, man, it's like,
man, when she had to kill that kid. Oh man.
That's probably what set it off for her. Like she just kind of like was like, man, this world is just is not meant to be like kosher and copacetic in this world anymore. Like I have to kill kids because even the kids are problematic. I think that set her off and was like, yeah, I got it.
And speaking of problematic, it was something I just thought about. This whole Pete situation, like they didn't even really try to solve it. Obviously, Pete had some issues. They didn't even attempt to like maybe get him to talk about it. Maybe like. Maybe to get him to not be drinking or something. It was like, okay, after the whole ordeal with, getting thrown out of the window or whatever, it's like, yeah, we're just going to put him in a house by himself. It's like, that's not how you deal with the dude.
But I think they said, they did say that they tried to, they said it stopped for a while and then they said it stopped and then got better and then it just got worse again.
Yeah, exactly, because they probably just stopped giving a damn and it was like, he's your surgeon or whatever. Kind of want to be sure that he has like some, like his mental health is intact, especially like granted, it's not right that he's beating Jennifer from the block, and the kid and the kid's tearing up the owl statue. Poor owl. That owl never did anything.
Nope. Didn't even get to make it all the way to the end of the season, man.
Yeah. But anywho, like, it just seemed like they just didn't care about, like, Deanna seemingly didn't care about him beating her, but at the same time, they didn't really care about him being drunk. Like, why are you letting the surgeon get, like, drunk, like, all day? Like, again, I'm pretty sure he's not operating on people, like, all day, every day, but at the same time, it's like, how is he getting all this alcohol? I don't even...
When they barely got chocolate to make cookies with. True. That is very true. But then again, like even that one episode where Bob notoriously killed damn near half their little platoon thing thanks to a bottle of wine on the rack. That was a lot of fucking liquor on that rack. So I guess
but at the same time, it's like you have to actually get there and get it and
true.
And then
But it's a community. At that point, they had made it to the point. They had made it into a point where things like, come on, they had like a party with like little hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. Some of the people hadn't even stepped outside the wall since the whole thing happened, and it's like, I guess they just really wanted that sense of normal living.
Yeah.
So because even the mayor had his little whiskey here and there. Though he wasn't getting sloppy drunk he did get drunk and beat somebody, but he wasn't doing it on the regular. It wasn't like, I
still don't know what his deal was with the jars with the heads in them, but that's way in the past. So, I'm gonna talk about the whole season. I thought it started off really, really well with Terminus. That was an amazing, 2-3 episode thing, and it was like quick and it was to the point. For the most part, it was to the point. And then, we kind of just like wrapped that up really, really good. And then the whole Grady Hospital Beth situation, that was just ridiculously unimportant. Like, I feel like it just I would have been fine if we would have been people would have still been like, what happened to Beth? Where's Beth? I would have been like seeing what happened to Beth and how that whole situation. I was like, I would have been fine. As of now, I'm fine with just not even knowing where Beth is. I don't care. I didn't really like it anyway. So it's like, let's burn stuff down and flip it off with Daryl. It's like, come on, really? This just made me not like. That made me like Daryl a little bit less because of that. Anywho,
he entertained her ignorance for a while. I definitely didn't like her. I didn't like her because she didn't hold her weight like she should have. Like, granted, you had Eugene, but Eugene was a source of inspiration for a second. Beth was just there.
I still don't like Eugene. I don't care if the mud is, party in the front, business in the back. I don't like Eugene at all. At all. The only people that I like worse than Eugene are... I even like the governor better than Eugene. I don't like Gabriel and Nicholas are below Eugene. And those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head.
I hate Gabriel with every fiber of my being, only because he planted a dark seed in Deanna's mind about the group, the same group that saved him from that one walk on top of that boulder. They didn't have to. I mean, granted, Rick wasn't going to, but he still second guessed himself and was
if you can't take care of one by yourself, fuck off. And he was like, hell. It's like, nigga, die.
So I definitely think he shouldn't. He put himself in a position of sheer hate with me, because it was like, come on, son, come on, really?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I hate Gabriel. I'm not sure if I hate Gabriel or Nicholas more. Granted, I don't like Aiden, but he's dead, so.
No, Nicholas,
Aiden got himself got.
Yeah, true. I mean, as far as Nicholas goes, Nicholas probably he's definitely like not on my list of liked characters, but I don't like he's like neutral in my book. In all
whatever.
honesty.
Nick is on my shit list
Because I mean, he has no the reason why I don't really care for him, at all, is because he doesn't have any. He didn't have a positive past with the group, and he doesn't have a negative past. It's just that his way of thinking is he feels like his way of thinking and his way of work was absolute, and that he's a coward. And they came across several cowards. Hell, Eugene was a coward. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel was a coward, but Gabriel not only he didn't know Gabriel stepped outside of his lane.
Yeah.
And that's what made me mad, because he stepped outside of his lane.
Yeah. You need to just be quiet preacher man. That's what you need to be.
Or and if you ain't gonna be quiet preacher man, just be quiet.
Yeah, that's
just be
true.
Quiet. Because even he was contemplating whether or not he was gonna be able to do his job. I'm like, yo, Gabriel, instead of you spitting all this slander, why don't you just be quiet?
Yeah.
Just quiet.
Yes. Granted, if these people did bad things, they got you to a place where you can now be safe, or at least reasonably safe. So even if they did bad things to get you there, you should at the very least be grateful for that.
And he doesn't even know what Rick and Diana was talking about, or like all the times that he's like kind of that Rick had his like spats, because it was all for the community. It just sounded selfish because boil it down to it, he still wants to be safe. He still wants to know that he's safe, but how can he be safe in a community full of unsafe people, unstable, untrained, people?
Yeah,
because he was like, I don't want to kill everybody to protect us, but I will.
I was thinking, how many of you I was gonna have to kill to save your lives?
And I mean, that sounds like a Kanye quote. It really sounds like a Kanye quote.
Rick Ye.
Yeah. So I think I definitely I felt like it was very selfish, but like I got a reason behind it. But it's like, it came out wrong. It didn't come out wrong. He was telling the truth. How many of y'all do I have to kill to save y'all lives? Because if Nick keep fucking up, I gotta kill him. If Pete keep messing up, I have to kill him too. Like, how many?
I think I do. I don't. Granted, I don't care whether or not they killed Pete or not. I do think that they just didn't even try to help him. Like, obviously he had issues, and they just like, oh, he's being Deanna. Oh, not Deanna. He's being Jenny from the block. Well, you're gonna have to kill him, Rick says, Carol. And then, granted, he did act erratically when Rick was over at the house and whatever. It was like, I get that, but you didn't try to even help. You didn't even try. You just like, oh yeah, well, we just gonna end up killing them. It's like, okay.
I kind of see why. I mean, because Carol comes from the same background.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I think
that stuff can be mitigated and helped. Like pizza, well, for the lack of a better word, pizza pussy. Pete, he got angry at Rick and charged at Rick, but more than likely because he had that drunk rage behind it.
Yeah.
Like, Pete ain't gonna do nothing to nobody sober, basically. True. And it's like, obviously the alcoholism is a part of it. And it's like, maybe if you got him to be sober, maybe got him to talk with Reggie, 2 or 3 days out of the week. What the fuck is Reg doing? Nothing. The wall's already up. What is he doing? Nothing. And so, maybe that, and then, still separate him from Jenny. But it was just like, nah, kill him. Let's keep him supplied with alcohol and put him in a house by himself with his thoughts. Yeah, that seems like the perfect way. That's totally not going to go downhill. Nah. And then Reg get his throat slit.
Yeah.
Even if it was by accident. And but going back to what I think of this whole season, I'm thinking of the whole season. It was pretty good. It was much more action things that happened, and much less here's a bunch of talkie that I do not care about. Talkie don't care about. There's some because I don't mind listening to talking. I just have to care. Mm-hmm. And a lot of stuff it's been like stuff like, I don't care about this. Doesn't even make any sense to me. I definitely don't need. I definitely don't need to see Daryl, go into the woods and cry anymore. Like I get it. Daryl's like the hard exterior person, but he's, he has his feelings and he has his emotions on the inside. Perfectly fine and understandable. I don't need to see him in the forest crying anymore. Yeah. I don't need to see random horses and stuff like that. Like I get all the symbolism. I get it. But in general, I think this season is good, and I don't think there's gonna be another season 2, because that's a lot of people was, including me, was dreading about this whole Alexandria thing. Is this gonna be another season 2 where they're just like, oh, we're here and everything's quiet and calm and peaceful and nothing's gonna happen really, and it's just gonna be a lot of back and forth character development, which there was character development, but it was like they had like what's going on in Alexandria, what's going on outside Alexandria, and then with this episode we get to see the wolves and we get to see Morgan, and now we know that Morgan wasn't that far back behind them. Mm-hmm. He was basically just lost.
Matter of fact, I'm actually lost. I was wondering if you could direct me in the right direction. Here's my map. And Daryl was
that was like, oh shit, the map.
Yeah.
And this brings me up to my my notes here for the this last episode. Mm-hmm. And we started off with Morgan, and then
Karate Morgan.
Yeah, like Grandmaster Morgan.
Yeah,
is what I said.
Grandmaster.
And I was like, really? These are the wolves? These it look like starving artists.
They really look like hipsters on the block, just like homeless people.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was wondering, and now when he was hitting him with his staff, and I'm like, why didn't they shoot him? Or like, did he? Because I didn't see him specifically knock the gun away from him. And then like when the other person was there, like, so he couldn't go and grab the gun. It's like, and then like Morgan picked up like, oh, these bitches ain't even got bullets. Yeah. like y'all some hoes. And
I don't even know exactly because I mean with that guy with the red poncho, they bagged him and like slit his throat and then let him die and then put him into the thing, and it's like. Why? Like, why? What? Like, were they? I think what it was they're gonna ambush, and I think they don't have ammo. I literally believe all they have are knives.
But do you think that's by choice or design? Because if they're setting these traps and capturing people, and they have to find like bullets or stuff that they was carrying on those people at some point. So it's like, and they're getting up close enough to where they can, mark their W in and they can't check their pockets. So I think it's like possibly by design, or maybe these are like lower tier wolves. They don't actually get to have bullets or whatever. They just kind of maybe there's like a wolf hierarchy of some sort. Because we only really have seen like maybe 2, 3. I think it's only been 2. But it's But those two people can't be the wolf. Like these two people are the wolves. That seems weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, cause even like Terminus, their whole operation, they had multiple people, and that was. I would much rather be, a member of Terminus than the wolves so far.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat a motherfucker than find some random guy and then put him in a trailer.
Me too.
They look like. They look like they purposely live out in the woods and out in the wilderness, because the dude look like extremely dirty, like Daryl dirty, and I wasn't sure if when Morgan whooped their ass, I'm like, the wolves, this is who what?
Yeah, but I feel
nobody, all the people or zombies that they killed, like nobody had a stick. like that's what it takes. That's what it takes to defend yourself against them. A stick, because they ain't even got a loaded gun.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with the lower tier, systematic, process between the wolves. They probably are a lower tier. I feel like it's gonna play. I think it's gonna be another Terminus / mayor situation where you have this rogue group of bandits and this place of luxury, and they're gonna eventually want this place of luxury. Because I think them trucks that they got packed up, I think they're gonna pull a move like how they pulled in Nick's place, in Noah's place, I meant, and ram them in, because it's a big Alexandria is a huge place, so they need numerous amount. So I feel like what they're gonna do is bombard the place and then take it over.
That seems like a good thing, especially like if people just leave the fucking gate open. Mm. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Daryl and what's his name?
Can't think of it either. I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember. Aaron. Yeah, when Daryl and Aaron was there, then he dropped his his bag with the photos and stuff in it. So I think that's how they find out about Alexandria, and then that's how they're going to get into. That's what we're going to get into for this upcoming season. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of stuff in play, because like Rick is like, yeah, we're this group and we stand together, and if these people in Terminus don't act right, then we but supposedly everybody's gonna be able to come together now, because Andrew's like, kill them, and so I think that's gonna be a good thing. But but I wonder what these wolves, how exactly are they going to do this? Like, I wonder if I'm right about that. Like, there's some type of hierarchy. Like, are these like the wolf scouts? Mm-hmm. And the
cubs.
Yeah.
The cubs.
Yeah, junior cubs.
Yeah.
And do they set traps, but they don't they get you like some melee weapons, but you don't get actual firearms, and then like some people, like people above them, like where's their wolf den? Like we haven't even seen what their community is, or even if it is just these two people, like they have to if it's just them two, man, they can't. If what we're saying is gonna happen, but it's just these two people, bruh, that's insane. Because them two, bruh, Terminus couldn't achieve what we're talking about them achieving with the mass numbers. I mean, they had snipers on roofs with well calculated targeting and walkie-talkies and systems and traps. Hit you in the back of the head with a bat, slit your throat.
Yeah, but nah, I highly doubt it's them two, definitely. I think that's why they didn't give us so much, because I feel like out the gate
it's all built up. It's all built up for. Do you think it's gonna be like Terminus, where it's like go 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 go, and then like episode 4 or 5, it's like, okay, now it's slowed down, and the wolves is over.
I think it's gonna. I won't say it's gonna be the entire series, but I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna jump out the gate. Wolves. Learning about them. I think what is going to happen.
Actually, first I think it's going to be about Rick and Morgan first.
True. Well, I mean, it's hour long episodes. I feel like it's going to be a combination of us figuring more out about the wolves, and more development. Because I think we're going to get that Bad Boys back-to-back gun blazing Rick and Morgan. Oh yeah. Because they're domesticating Daryl. I honestly believe, because you remember I think the season finale, they were debating about something. He was like, "Oh, we could just not do that." When usually when Daryl's like, "Yeah," shrug his shoulders and be like, "Yeah, let's do it." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Well, maybe we don't." I don't think it was the last episode, but he's starting to like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's not. Well, he's gonna be the same Daryl. He just took a shower, so
yeah. So he's like, the dirt ain't like clogging his like.
yeah. Like, let him roll around in some mud. He'll same old.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because he's
double D.
Double D, Dirty Daryl.
Dirty Daryl. I was going Daryl Dixon, but Dirty Daryl, I like that too. Dirty Daryl.
Yeah, he's definitely. But
Dirty Daryl, Jenny from the block. You know.
I feel like I think he's domesticated at this point, and it's gonna take him. It's gonna just like with Michonne, it's gonna take another crank of the key to get him back revved up to be Dirty Daryl. Mm-hmm. But Morgan's already out the gate, and Rick has never lost that sense of like Rick-tatorship.
Rick-tatorship.
Mm-hmm. So
what flavor are those Rick Taters?
Spicy jalapeno. Spicy jalapeno. No, spicy jalapeno barbecue.
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. There you go. Even though they're in Georgia. he does have like this sense of like Texas Lone Star Ranger kind of vibe to him, but yeah, he from good old.
Man, I want Rick gonna bite somebody, throw it out again.
Man, Rick, I can't understand. Like, I guess because we know what he's been through, and nobody else in the show does. Like that comes into the fold. No, but I'm like, when Rick says, "Do this, do that," I'm listening. Whoever can bite it, can throw it out, and you know what I'm saying,
and keep going.
Has been what he's been through is enough for me to be like, he's the leader. No matter how big my ego is, no matter how arrogant I am, no matter how much I feel like I've been through, he's been through. Well, I can't say that whatever I've been through, because I've probably been through it worse. But he's handling this situation extremely well. Extremely well. And I won't say extremely well because he is losing his mind.
Well, he
lost his mind.
Well, yeah, but he's more sane now. He's just
come in. No. He could have waited.
Anywho, like he's lost his mind, got it back, and kind of like lost his will, and then got it back. And so I think he's like one of those characters, like you can push him and push him and push him, and then he'll go down, but then you push him a little bit more, and he goes like right back, like he goes like like to the nth degree, and then he's like twice as Rick.
Yeah.
So,
but that's just not. That's just me knowing what he's been through from the very beginning until this point. But yeah, I think his relationship between him and Morgan, or Morgan, because Morgan walked in and gave him this look of concern when he saw what he had did to Pete.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll turn into like a battle of like integrity,
yeah.
Because as you can see, Morgan went from skittish, kind of almost too protective, to completely insane, like overly protective of himself, and then to like this almost zen, like Book of Eli, Denzel Washington state of zen almost. You know what I'm saying?
Beat your ass to that stick.
We'll put you in the dirt with a 9-foot wooden pole, with a 9-foot wooden dowel, if you will.
Man, he whooped their ass.
Yeah, he really,
like, you should just go. I'm thinking, just leave. Just
leave.
Go. Just leave.
And then he like bagged him and tagged him and put him in the car. And even though they got out, but it was still like, wow. He
did the dude job.
He could have really put them, like, he could have fucked them up. He could have broke their arms, could have broke their legs.
He could have just killed them.
True, because I mean, but think about what he did. He blew the horn of the car to lead walkers to the car. Like, that could have killed them in its own sense. Not saying like they would have busted the glass. How many times that didn't happen? They would have.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, it could have just like kept them like confined to that car for a while, which is what happens later on in that same episode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was thinking like, is that? Like when it was going after the Red Poncho guy, I was thinking that they was tracking Morgan. Cause I was like, okay, maybe Morgan decided to pick up a Red Poncho at some point.
Oh no,
but and then it was just like some completely other random guy. I was like, why did random guy number one need to be killed?
Yeah, he definitely
Red Poncho guy.
But he led them. What I get where it came, how it happened. I get what it did. It led them, trying to track him led them to the food supply store,
Right.
which eventually helped them cross paths with Morgan. Which I love how they put us in such binding predicaments where we feel like our favorite characters are gonna die, and then somebody random comes and saves the day who you never because when that was happening, I'm like, what's gonna happen is Daryl's gonna gung ho it out of there, and Aaron was gonna get eaten, because Daryl had been in that predicament too many times for him not to get out by now. So that's what I thought. But then when it was like it was like 1, 2, and then you hear splat, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, maybe the somebody from the community had came out, behind them looking for him or something like that. But then you saw that wooden pole, and I was like, yeah, boy. Morgan on the scene. I'm surprised he didn't sharpen one of the ends of the stick.
Nah, I think it's not like, I don't think that's what that purpose of that stick. I think the purpose of that is for defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wow.
Yeah.
I was like,
where he pick up martial arts skills in between?
Hey,
books,
psychosis and craziness, man. You'll learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you'll unlock some. But yeah,
he unlocked his hidden potential.
You gotta. He met with the Grand Kai and let that happen. But it was. I'm glad he's back though. But I'm concerned about that look. Because you gotta, what I've learned with The Walking Dead is that you have to pay attention to the unsaid.
Yeah.
Everything.
And you definitely have to, if you want to feel better about the show, just think of the worst possible thing that can happen. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the worst thing won't happen, like the second worst thing can happen. So it's like you feel a little bit of relief. Yeah. It's like, okay, at least that didn't happen.
Because I definitely didn't think Daryl was gonna die at that point.
No,
but somebody was.
I mean, especially when we have shirts that say, "If Daryl dies, we riot." So,
oh, boy.
That's an actual shirt. You can look it up. And I want Daryl to live, because I think Daryl has like the tracking skills and like the know-how to just survive out, just survive out there. And I don't want him to I don't want Daryl to have like some ridiculously stupid death. Like if Daryl is going to die, it needs to be not in like, oh yeah, he's in a car surrounded by zombies and there's nobody that's going to come save him. Mm-hmm. So either he goes out and tries to escape the zombies, or he just sits there and then just dies, starvation or whatever. It's like, nah, that's not a way for Daryl Dixon to go out.
Yeah. I really want him to stay alive, mostly because Rick needs Daryl.
Yeah.
I love Rick to death. He needs that extra set of thinking tools, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like his mind gets distorted with conflict between wanting to be the Rick-tator and Rick.
This Sunday, the Rick-tator.
Because
coming after you,
sucker. and because Rick-tator, he's like the gung ho, like we don't trust nobody, but that's only because of what's been happening.
Right.
But he was always Rick. He was Rick before the Walking Dead.
He was Rick before it was cool.
Yeah. So he's very conflicted because he's just trying not to get lost in this world, which I think is I feel like is in its own sense necessary. Because this isn't the first world society anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will kill you over a can of raviolis now. So you definitely have to kind of lose.
Hey, you go to the wrong parts of New York.
Yeah, you go to the wrong parts of New York. Kill you for your socks. Because it's cold up there. I'm surprised things like climate hasn't affected and what I mean by that is, like, since it's cold in New York, especially during wintertime, I'm surprised that they haven't done something like a mass migration of refugees, quote unquote. You get what I'm saying? Towards the south.
I think the weather issue is one of the main reasons why the show is in the South, because down here our weather doesn't change that much. Even if it gets cold, we don't usually get like snow.
But I'm not saying
I'm
not even speaking on like the filming of the show. I'm talking.
No, I'm talking about storyline wise.
Okay.
Like, think about having to deal with because there's some zombies that lay down and they don't really become active until you get like near them, or they can hear something and they're like,
kind of wake up.
And so imagine having to like try to migrate, like you and your group try to migrate while it's snowing. Oh Jesus! Like 60 y'all getting ate up,
Yeah. And that's just walking through snow.
Yeah. So I think like it's easier to shoot in, and it provides like a more consistent basis of
understanding.
Like, and even like we can show it's cold, but it's cold, but it's not snowing. Yay! And
or what if that idea has been implemented, and that's where we get those megahertz.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the deal is with them, because they're kind of like, I mean, granted, megahertz even stand still, as we saw with when Abraham hit Eugene with the combo.
Yeah.
And speaking of them, they made up or whatever, but I still wanted Eugene to just, not Eugene, but Abraham to just smack the shit out of Eugene.
I'm glad I'm glad he didn't, because at that point it was unnecessary. The damage was done. Not saying he didn't. Not saying. Not trying to play like
backhand.
Like the God's advocate, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you already, knocked his lights out. You kind of already like did as about you didn't kill him, and that was like the next step. Right. So you pretty much punched him out, knocked him unconscious, and that's like anything else would have just been like excessive, in my opinion.
Should have kicked him.
Or something. Or
just once. Just kick him once. Just right in the ribs. Ugh.
But then again, that's showing change in Abraham, because
he's the edge is coming off, and he's able to actually say, hey,
it ain't worth it no more. He's
right.
He's still Abraham though.
Oh yeah.
He's still Abraham. I like how
there's a whole ocean of shit. It's like, okay, man.
And that level of shit, y'all are not ready for that amount of shit. He was just like, I was like, okay, but I get that's just how he talks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I can say that with like him and Eugene have like the most unique speech pattern between like any of the other characters. Everybody like kind of like normal, kind of maybe you can hear that southern drawl, that southern accent. Some of them you can't, like, especially with Maggie. You can definitely tell like,
yeah.
I'm not even like, she does hers in a way like I'm not even sure if she's like acting that or if she actually is from down here.
She definitely isn't.
Okay, well,
she's actually from Britain, just like
Andrew Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But boy, I mean, come on, son. I can't do a British accent to save my life, but they can master my accent better than I can. Even I don't have a southern accent.
Oh, come on now, boy.
Yeah, like I'm like, son, she sounds like a country bumpkin.
She doesn't sound like a bumpkin.
Well, I won't say bumpkin.
She sounds southern. Let's say that.
She sounds
stereotypically southern.
She sounds like Paula Deen.
Oh, okay. I don't think she sounds like Paula Deen, but whatever.
It's thick though. That accent is thick.
Maggie is a little thick.
for a little white girl.
Beckham's. But yeah, so that happened, and sadly no more sex scenes between Abraham and Lupita. That's horrible. They need
no more sex scenes between Glenn and Maggie. What you mean?
I don't think if we did, it wasn't as explicit as between Abraham and Lupita.
Yeah, they was like.
It was like if you like take away like the veneer of the show, that could have been like a scene from like a Genuine video or something.
Yeah.
I got some words for you. Zombie party. That's how they lured, like, you know, they lured him in the trailers. That was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And Glenn, I still don't understand this whole forgiveness prayer circle thing between Sasha and Sasha, Maggie, and Gabriel, because like all the prayer in the world is not going to help, you know, Sasha.
Yeah, because she suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Traumatic, not dramatic.
But I feel like
PTSD.
I feel like that was just like filler.
Like,
I don't think that really had. I mean, I understand what happened. It was like Gabriel found a sense of he found the better sense of self. I still don't care about him. I really wish he would have laid like good 6 slugs.
He said he was ready to die. You should have fucking died.
Yeah, but I feel like that really has no significance whatsoever, because like you said, no amount of prayer is gonna stop the zombie apocalypse. No amount of prayer is gonna stop me from hating Gabriel. Like everything's
like safe. Even like, and I really that's really a testament to the writers and the actor, because he, like, I hate Gabriel, but the actor who plays Gabriel is fucking phenomenal. Like especially like just like the way that he makes like his face. It's like a lot of the stuff that, like, because a lot of times Gabriel doesn't have actual lines. He just like has like noises and reaction.
Yeah,
and he does that so well as that character, and it's like, ooh, you good at making me not like you.
Yeah,
and I don't want to meet you out in the street for real.
Yeah, because you're just too good. I mean, but you have a past with his actor, because you've seen him in another show before, right? So seeing him depict this character, because I seen a screenshot from a show he played where he was a gangster, like he was like a thug, and it was like, wow. I mean,
so this is what Gabriel was doing before.
Yeah, like and you really don't know his level of skill as a thug, but it was like seeing him in that white beater, like black Dickies, you know what I'm saying, gold chain, slouching in his chair with like a mean mug, to like, you know what I'm saying, very tight fitting pressed clothes with the you know, the pastor, the priest attire, and then being this skittish, squeamish, you know, very timid.
It's contrasting.
It's because he, like you said, it's like, bruh, I don't want to see you on the streets because you play your character too well.
May throw a bottle at you.
Yeah, like hit you with a bottle of holy water or something.
Fuck you, Gabriel. That's not really me.
He's like ducking and dodging because everybody hate him for something he really ain't even doing.
Yeah. I think when you start watching Game of Thrones, you'll see another character like that. But let's go ahead and talk about this companion series to The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, which I think that's a fucking ridiculous title. That seems absolutely dumb, to me at least.
Exactly why? Because I mean, to be honest, I'm just like, hey, as long as it's good, it could be Boo Boo of The Walking Dead. Well, no, that's really ridiculous. But I mean, it's, you know, it could have been anything. I mean, I feel like as far as like what we're getting from, I haven't seen the pilot episode for one.
It hasn't come out. There's been a trailer or some teasers.
I haven't seen any of that yet.
Yeah.
And so I can't really speak on.
So do you know what it's about?
I know it's located in California.
Right, and supposedly it's supposedly or allegedly it's about different people, similar timeline, but mostly before we know what's going on with Rick and everything. Like, you know, Rick's in the hospital and stuff like that. Like it's supposedly before that even happens. And, you know, it's a cool idea, because I've always wondered that, even before it was a project in the works. Like, what's going on with everybody else? Because we've went from Georgia and we've moved through states, and it's like, what's going on with everybody else? We still don't know what even caused this. Where did it even originate?
Yeah.
Like, did it originate in the South? I'm like, if it originated in the South, why is this taking place in California? So obviously that, and then like even if it spread along into the South. Like, from California or from somewhere else, if it's spread along into Georgia, when people have been like on the radio saying, "Hey, this is a thing, this is blah blah blah," but then again, they were doing that because people were fleeing the city.
Yeah.
So I guess that's taken care of.
I mean,
but I've always wondered like what's going, like I just hope they don't start a fucking third one, like, oh, this is what was going on in New York when this happened. It's like, oh,
I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't mind that, the only way I would not mind that if it ties into the bigger picture of The Walking Dead.
Like they all meet at some point.
No, like we figure out where this came from.
Well, yeah, but that's a cool idea though. Like think about this. Say like we get to like season 7 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and they meet the New York team.
Yeah, but like for the New York team, they're well. Pending if there actually was in New York, but let's say I think it's L.A. specifically that the campaign series Fear the Walking Dead takes place. So like say like in season 2 or 3 of them, they meet Rick and whatever, but they're in season 7 of The Walking Dead. So it'd be kind of cool. Or maybe they meet, but then they don't stay together.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to see. I like things like that. Like,
they got a lot of traveling to do.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, they should definitely make some cameo appearances by like Jesse Eisenberg, like basically the cast of Zombieland. I really wanted the Zombieland too. I wasn't done with that story. I wanted to see what was going to happen with them.
I like that. I enjoyed that movie too. A number 2 definitely wouldn't hurt. Now that would be cool,
even if it was new people. But they still need to keep the motif of naming them like different cities. I like that. Tallahassee.
Yeah, but I really want to look into that. I'm gonna look into that definitely after this, probably a little later on, because I do have something to go at 8. But it's like I'm definitely interested in seeing where this goes. Because honestly, I don't think they're gonna be able to capitalize off. Well, they would if it was like an in between the Walking Dead series. Because come on now, waiting almost an entire year for the next season is horrible.
I think it comes back in October, doesn't it?
Yeah, but come on, bro, it's April. That's a long time.
Well, I know. It would be. Now I don't know when it actually starts, but it would be cool, like the Walking Dead series, and then Fear the Walking Dead in all season, and then Walking Dead, and then Fear the Walking Dead. So you kind of have like a steady stream of different productions throughout different parts of the year to tide you over to get ready for the next thing, and like one's off, one's on, one's off, one's on. Now that's the one thing that I am, looking forward to. Now, how do you think Deanna is going to start ruling things with Rick? Like, Reggie's like, she's lost her son, she's lost her husband. I think she has one more son.
She only has one son left.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she has one son now. Like, is he gonna start making a bigger part, like be a bigger part of the story now? Because he's like kind of been like absentee since they became everybody
got there.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what his name is.
Me either. What I think is going to happen is, I feel like, because your phone can hear quite well. So there we go. What I think is going to happen is she's going to start. I think what she's going to do is, for lack of better terms, what I think she's going to do is allow Rick to build an army.
An army of what?
Warriors. Because
like train the people?
In
like train the construction workers?
No, I mean, I won't say it's training, but it's a large community.
Yeah.
get, a couple of the guys, anybody willing to volunteer. Of course, he ain't gonna pull a mayor and like get the kids or something like that, but you know what I'm saying, like get a couple of guys that really want to fight because they see what's going on now. Help fortify the situation. Help fortify because they got Abraham who was gonna take the place of the cold construction dude.
Yeah.
So I feel like construction is gonna ante up a little bit. And then I feel like Rick's gonna, if anything, train everybody, and I won't say an army, but train them in the
They're gonna be able to fight and defend themselves,
exactly.
and not just be a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, exactly. And then I feel like that, and then they're gonna, of course, implement a better system of living because yes, civilization, but this is not America anymore. This is like This is the United States of zombie. You know what I'm saying?
The United States of Alexandria.
Yeah, so it's the
United City blocks of Alexandria.
Which was crazy because when you saw them riding up on it, it stretched for miles.
Well, it's a community.
Yeah, but it stretched. But I mean, the horizon was still what we perceive to be Alexandria, and that's
they giving people houses, so it's got to be big.
Yeah, so. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty big deal. I mean, like that's why I feel like those trucks are gonna lead to getting rammed into the walls of Alexandria and released because it's 3 of them. And if you've ever been in the 18-wheeler, it's deep.
Yeah,
like it gets deep. Like you can fit about. I don't want to say nothing outrageous, but maybe 100+ people in each truck, and it's 3 of them, so that's 300 zombies getting shoved into a large community. You know what I'm saying? That's without the knowledge, without knowing that they're gonna be, well trained or whatever. That's a lot of zombies to put on.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come in contact with these wolves at some point. And I just really there's gonna be some casualties. There's going to be some casualties. I don't know if Deanna's going to get it. I don't know if Jenny's going to get it. Mm-hmm. Or the kids. I think the kids may get, some of the kids may get it. We haven't seen 2 of those boys for a while.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what part Enid's going to play because it seemed a little weird for her to be there if she's not going to play some sort of part. Like the other kids are kind of just background, but I think Deanna's going to be.
She's going to have some. She's gonna have. I feel like she's definitely gonna have a pivotal role in the series, but I don't think it's I feel like it's gonna be more like a. I think it's gonna be more than just a love interest. I don't think she's just gonna be there. You know what I'm saying, flaunting her girly ways in front of him to make him want her. I think she's gonna. Step up and be a part. I won't say a part of the team, but she's been out there and that's what she likes and what she's used to.
Right.
So she's gonna.
They're just gonna hang out together inside hollow trees.
Yeah, I don't think that's just what it's all gonna be. Of course, it's gonna play a lot. They are teenage kids that what I'm saying.
Yeah, they already went down
there exploring themselves as they teach us in sex ed. So. If anything, he's gonna
exploring.
Yeah, if anything, he's gonna get his little Peter Whacker. He's gonna get he's gonna get his little Peter Whacker, which might actually ruin things for him, if anything, because then it's gonna fuck his priorities up. But that's just being a young man in the world. So we'll see.
I just hope that they don't do anything silly and arbitrary like this whole domestic violence stuff. That just popped up out of nowhere. And it's Rick likes this girl, and what's the justification for Rick really liking this girl? She's married. Oh, well, he's beating her. Did she necessarily have to have a kid? But story wise, that kid, also is with Carol, and she finds out and there's the cookie thing. And
I think if anything, I feel like if anything, it helped. I think I kind of get why it may have happened because they needed somebody on the inside that wasn't, that's been there, that holds more weight than them, that was doing something questionable to put them in a position to want to have to solve it through violence or through some kind of anything other than, hey, let's stop. You know what I'm saying? and then it had to affect Deanna for them to hit that catalyst, in the community to become, because they are living in a fantasy. To be honest, even I agree with Rick. It was like, y'all living in this world that does not exist. Like, I mean, y'all living in this world that y'all fabricating when it's not like this. Once you step outside the walls, it's a whole nother animal, and whatever steps inside these walls will, it'll be too late once they, like if the wolves bust in today, like y'all would not know what to do. Y'all didn't even know they existed or that there are people out there to harm y'all. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like it kind of had to happen for Rick's tactics to set in to get them to do what they had to do, because of course it couldn't have been like, listen, he's beating her, if you don't stop, then blah blah blah. Oh, and then by the way, y'all aren't living right because there's people out there that are crazier than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like it had to be some wild, reckless, crazy antics that had to happen for him to you know what I'm saying,
fight him, toss him out the window, be in the middle of the street waving his gun around, have Michonne come in with that
right hook,
with that fire. I mean, she may as well say Shoryuken when she hit like the Shoryuken, and then Rick's out. He wakes up like he went out hard. He woke up like,
yeah,
shit. What happened?
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a very interesting screenplay, if you will, between characters, especially that episode. I wasn't expecting her to clobber him like she did.
Yeah.
Because I was like Rick, I didn't know where her loyalty lied anymore. So I was like, damn, now Michonne
ride or die.
Michonne ride or die. Now that we know, and I should, it makes me feel bad because I didn't have faith in her. I had kind of, like, she had because she wanted it so bad, I thought she literally was going to be like, kick him out. Get him, like, I don't think it would have been that, like, just like, because she would have the rest of the team to deal with. But I think she would have tried to, like, sway them to understand that it's either him or all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she ride it out. And I should have had more faith in her.
Yeah, you can't doubt Michonne.
Because Michonne, man, she been through it all. All of their worst battles, Michonne has helped them.
Even though she should technically be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Why would the government kill Herschel and not her when he had the chance? That's just the way I see it. But anyway.
True, because he could have swung that bad boy to cut both their heads off. But then as soon as he kind of like slit the throat, and it wasn't slow motion, so timing, Rick was which was amazing. I think that was one of my favorite scenes of that episode.
That long ass got about 14 feet long.
And it gets longer every episode.
But yeah. And this is the end of season 5, and we'll pick this up season 6. Hopefully nothing creepy or crazy opens it. Like, hopefully they don't open it up with another candlelight vigil.
Yeah. Or they don't open it up with a rat pinned to a board by a little girl.
I think I can deal with that one.
I mean, yeah, it could have been worse. But definitely no more candlelight vigils.
No more face ripping.
I could dig that. But not somebody I like. Nick, good job.
Man, I don't want anybody to get it. Eugene can get it. Definitely. Gabriel can get it. At this point, what's her name? The girl that got knocked out. Eugene saved her.
Yeah,
I think you even said her name earlier.
I think they said her last name.
Anywho, she can get it at this point.
What about Abraham's lovely companion?
Lupita? No, Lupita cool. Like Lupita got some gunplay, and
Yeah. And
Abraham needs a concubine, because who knows what all his testosterone is going to do to him when he can't get that releases.
Maybe what if him
he turns green and red.
What if Lupita does that and he gets with Carol? Because they look like they about the same age.
That's creepy.
They look like they about the same age. And you can't sit here and tell
creepy.
me he ain't gonna get turned on by
That's creepy for me, man.
That scary old
scary old.
That you know, cause she an undercover creep. She an undercover creep.
And on that's where this ends. Undercover creepy Carol.
Yeah.